In 1992, in the Canadian province of Ontario, a high school student named Deidre experienced an incident that still remains a source of astonishment and sorrow for both science and humanity. One day, she stepped into the yard of her home and noticed a frog. As soon as she picked it up, she immediately sensed that something was wrong, because the frog did not open its eyes. Filled with curiosity and concern, when Deidre looked inside its mouth, the ground seemed to slip from beneath her feet. There, on the roof of its mouth, was a pair of eyes staring back at her. At first, she thought that perhaps the frog had swallowed another frog and that the eyes belonged to it. But she soon realized that the eyes were actually part of the same frog's body, formed inside its mouth in the opposite direction. Deidre brought the frog inside the house and tried to feed it earthworms, but it would only eat when the food was placed directly into its mouth. Despite being almost blind, it quietly struggled to survive, as if nature itself had put it through a harsh test of life. Deidre contacted the local newspaper. When journalist and photographer Scott Gardner received the report over the wireless, he initially thought it was a joke. But when he arrived at the scene, an unbelievable reality stood before his eyes. To capture photographs of the eyes inside the frog's mouth, they used insects to make it open its mouth. Meanwhile, Deidre named this unique creature Gollum, after the semi-aquatic character from Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings, who himself symbolizes loneliness and suffering. The next day, Deidre took Gollum to the University of Guelph, where biologist Professor Bogart examined it. He had been observing congenital abnormalities in frogs for many years, but he had never seen a case like this before. Like a physician, he recorded the details. Male Bufo americanus, a common species in Ontario, 2 inches long, at least 2 years old. What astonished him most was how this frog, despite being nearly blind, had managed to survive for so long in the wild. As for the cause of this strange condition, Professor Bogart could not say anything with certainty. He speculated that the eyes may have developed in reverse, but whether this was a genetic defect or the result of environmental pollution remained a mystery. He expressed a desire to use Gollum for breeding experiments to determine whether the trait was hereditary, but Deidre firmly refused. Even after Gollum's death, Deidre declined to hand over the body for a post-mortem examination. To her, Gollum was not an experiment, but a living being with feelings, a silent struggle and a painful story of nature. This story reminds us that nature is not only about beauty, but also a blend of trials, suffering, and wonder, and that sometimes the weakest creatures deliver the strongest messages.